Hello everybody. Okay, so a lot of students have an issue with grammar and I'm going to show you why and I'm going to show you how to fix it really quickly in about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to use Chinese as an example because I speak Chinese and I see a lot of Chinese students do this and it's the same in other languages. So I'm going to start off by showing you. It's a bit awkward. Translation doesn't work. From your language into English, translation doesn't work. So, let's see. In Chinese, 我为了好玩而工作. I for good fun work. That's in Chinese. I for good fun work. Now you're thinking in Chinese, or your language, I for good fun work. In English, that is incorrect grammar. So how do we fix it? Well, you can see this. I work because I enjoy it. Well, that's fluent. Why? Let me show you. So what you need to do is start with the picture of the thing, the idea that you want to say in your mind, not in your language. So you're not thinking of the words in your language first. You just have the picture of the situation or the idea. And what you do is over here, write down all of the words associated with this idea. So here we have customer, coworker, colleague, money, work, all these words. And what a native speaker will do is go from this idea and from all these words they will choose in their mind. You're going to do it on paper to practice, but you do it on paper. In the native speaker's mind, they choose a subject and then they make the sentence. And sometimes they choose a subject and the sentence doesn't work. So they have to go back and choose a different subject and try again. Okay? So before you write down on your exam, before you write down my customer, you do in your head, okay, my customer, what's the verb, what's the object? Okay? Now, the basic simple thing in English is the subject is something or the subject is doing something. So here, my customer, let's write it for you. Here, my customer called me. So the customer is doing this, called me, or my customer is something, he's smart. Okay, those are the two major ones you need. You can write most things in English with just those two concepts. He's doing something or is something. Sometimes it's need or want, but that's fine. Okay, so then you take, once you go through this process, idea, right? Then you can create a compound sentence. Now, why is it a compound sentence? Because this subject, verb, object is one idea, just one. As a matter of fact, let me write it down. One idea. Only one idea, okay? Now, the compound is my customer is smart, comma, and he is rich. We have two ideas, but we have two subject, verb, objects. There's number one, customer is smart, and there's number two, and he is rich, comma, and. Okay? So, you know in here this is called a conjunction. And you know you can use however, but, so, because, instead. Now if you're using comma, and, but, so, something like this, it is just a comma. But if you're going to use however, you need semicolon, however, comma, or instead, or any word like that, right? You see that? So you have subject, verb, object, however, subject, verb, object. Now, why do we use these words? Because they show the relationship between the two ideas. And you can also do the same thing. You see here I have because. That's a complex sentence. Okay. So although, because, any of those words. So it's just the same thing though. It's just two ideas connected. I work is one idea and I enjoy it is another idea. And because tells you the relationship. So where it gets tricky is if you go back here, sometimes ideas are not clear. So sometimes in the story, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ideas. See? You have many, many ideas. And then you don't know where to start. And then you try to put too many ideas in here. You try to put 2 of them in there. And it gets mixed up. Okay? So what you do is, in here, you want to organize. So organize by time or ideas usually are the 2 ones, okay? So time and ideas. Time, what happened first, what happened next, what happened next. Ideas, start with the easy ones first. Okay? Start with the easy ideas first, put those easy ideas into here, and then continue. This works the same for your speaking test, and I will do a speaking course for you guys as well. But what happens in the speaking test is you don't know what to say. If you go back to my introductions video on history and science, you'll see that I'm asking questions and doing the easy stuff first. So it's like a simple subject, verb, object, one thing at a time. Super important. One sentence, one idea at a time. So for example, in the history exam, they said history is important. Discuss. That's part of the question, right? And I thought, why is history important? I don't even know. Well, I have to think. So what? First of all, I don't start with important. I start with, okay, back up. What do we do in history? We look at events. Okay, what kind of events? Well, maybe wars. What do we talk about in the wars? We talk about why it started, who started, what's changing, what's the outcome, and then I think, okay, why do we look at that? Because we learn mistakes and we learn from those mistakes. So it's important to learn history, so we learn from the mistakes. But I didn't start my answer with, why is history important? Oh, history is important because, I don't know. I go back, say, hang on a second, let me think. Simple things. Okay, why do we study history? Or what do we study? So normally in history we study, in history we study events. That's all. We study events. Okay? We study war. In war, there are many mistakes. Now, there are many mistakes. Okay? We learn from those mistakes. It's all like this. And the only way it's more advanced is you're doing compound or you're doing complex. Now, sorry, that's going to pop up again. One place that is a problem is when you're using that or which. So avoid using that or which while you're learning to do this. Once you can do this properly, then study how to use that or which. That and which changes the sentence structure in a way that you need to be aware of. If you're not aware of how that and which changes the sentence structure, don't do it. Those cause students many, many, many problems. Okay? So start with this. You can actually get a 7 with this, no problem. It's clear, we understand it, we understand the grammar, we know what you're doing. Okay? Any questions? In the comments, no problems, and good luck with your exam.